Yo, new day. I have certifiably just been rotting today, and I have no excuse. I've just rotted. I guess I played some D&D, but other than that, I don't know, man. Just, yeah, I've been falling down a steep rabbit hole that I am not proud of in the form of mobile games. Yeah, I know, it's bad. It is particularly bad this time, because I just keep downloading shit just to, I don't know, keep my mind numb, which is a, not a great place to be in, but it's just, the fucking, the dopamine rush is just, eternal. Whenever I feed my sheeps and my chickens in Heyday, and I have my machines up and running, I go over to what's it called, like Whiteout Survival or something like that, where I then I up my game in terms of making swords, making armor. Workshop? I don't know. I barely know the name of these games. That's the most sickening part of it. I just keep downloading them because they're like mildly interesting. I don't know. It all started with some I don't know. I just got a surge and I got a rush. I got an idea to just start playing Clash of Clans again because it's been a while, right? And it's just, hey, I need something to do while my shaders are loading in Monster Hunter Wilds, while my shaders are compiling, because that has been a huge issue that thankfully has been fixed now. I finally figured out, the correct way to clear my cache, because you can't just do it manually. You have to do it, in a very specific way that I cannot be bothered to go into, but it's fixed now, and it's working fine. Everything is fine. But there has been, quite a while, at least like a week, where on and off I just had to compile shaders while playing Monster Hunter Wilds. And in that time, in that solid, like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something it took each and every time, keep in mind, sometimes the game would just kind of crash out of nowhere. Not that often, but it would happen. I had to compile shaders every single time. Then I pulled up some Clash of Clans, then I got reminded that, hey, after I upgrade my Town Hall, that's gonna take a good fucking while. I got to max Town Hall 12 or 11. I maxed out my Town Hall because God no, I'm not rushing my Town Halls, my base. Fuck that. That is for cringers out there. I eventually had nothing to do really, so I pivoted to Heyday, and Heyday has the dangerous feature of ads. You watch an ad, you get a shovel or something, right? So I started a brand new save like a week ago or something, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, and I am currently at level 22. I just unlocked the little boat. That was half as expensive as I thought it would be. I don't know why. In my mind, I thought that I needed 14,000 in order to buy the boat, aka just like, a second way to sell your stuff, I guess. But I needed I needed some money to build the harbor for the boat, and I thought that was 14,000 for the longest time. But then today I realized, no, it was 7,000 all along. So I don't know where the hell I got 14,000 from, or why specifically it was 14,000. I don't remember why. Maybe there's just some sort of like sale, because I don't know. like 50% off sale going on for some weird holiday going on right now. I could see it. I don't know. I'm not sure, but you know, it was just supposed to be like just some pastime while shaders were compiling, but now it's, you know, slowly but surely taking over my life, and I could not be more disappointed in myself. Oh, thunder! I could not be more disappointed in myself, because it is a deep rabbit hole to go down, especially when I then start to, you know, get bored of Heyday, or not really bored. Heyday is, you know, Heyday is my main hoe, right? And then I have my side chicks over here in terms of whiteout survival and lumberjack tycoon and, you know, whatever. I also, that's something I actually want to talk about because that's pretty funny. There is an ad on Heyday I see, also on the others, because all these like tycoon games, they're all like just... They all just have ads for each other. They have the same ads for each other. It's kind of funny, like that circle. You've probably seen it before. That was very close to certain death. You've probably seen it before. Just these ads going in circles. If you actually go and download one game, then you go and just see like a bunch of ads. And you know, there's a limit to how many ads I can take. So that like... I can't remember if it's called Lumberjack Tycoon, but that's what I'm gonna call it. It had so many like pop-up screens and ads everywhere, and you know, you couldn't really play the game because literally I think more than half the screen was just plastered with buttons that sent you to different screens where you could buy stuff or watch an ad. It was terrible. Also, at some point, you just couldn't really get that much farther without like buying stuff. There's a limit to how much I can take. This whiteout survival, I don't know. It's kind of the same. There's a lot of it. I am considering offing that to uninstalling it. I am awfully close to dying here. Let me just take a quick breather. But yeah, it hasn't been good. But the funny thing I wanted to talk about is this one particular ad that is Merge Mansion, I think it is. It's essentially like there's a whole story and plot that I have already figured out from like just the ad alone. There is something going on with, like, you know, it's just I think it's a Candy Crush type of game, but it also has some sort of like deep story and lore and like backstory to the characters in the game, and it's essentially like a murder mystery. Because I don't know, kinda murder mystery, kinda not. It's so you see a grandma. The ad starts. To be fair, I haven't played 1 second of this game. I've only watched ads of it. It starts off with this woman who comes home crying in like a wedding gown, right? She's just been. I don't know, maybe like on her wedding night or something, she I don't know, maybe cheated on her or something, I don't know. But her husband has left her, and there's something, like there are some shots of the husband and his mom, and so they probably have something to do with the story. And what we find out is that, you know, it starts off as just like a normal game, right? You know, a strong, independent woman wants to move out, like, you know, be independent. Just, you know, she's painting her own fence, she's repairing the mansion she just, I don't know, kind of randomly got, I guess, I don't know. But at some point, the grandma, or like... the ma? No, the it is called grandma because there's like a a thing with like, oh, what's grandma hiding, like at the end of it. So the grandma gets caught by the police, kind of just out of left field, for no particular reason whatsoever. At least that's what we think. But it's implied that she killed someone. That's what she's being arrested for. And then she, like, you know, sadly taps on the window, like, holds her hand to, like, hold her granddaughter's hand one last time before she goes off to jail forever, you know? But then it's revealed that on her hand is written, "He is alive," or "He's still alive," or something like that. Which is such a crazy, like, plot twist after the plot twist of her having killed somebody. Like, you have to process both at the same time, because that is pretty much the only text there is, like, text or speech there is in the entire ad, except for the thing I mentioned with, like, oh, what's grandma hiding? Play some mansion merge or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But I just find it really funny how it, like, how these, like, 4 words manage to make 2 plot twists to a fucking video game, like a Candy Crush ad. It's insane. Also, I don't know if that implies that, like, the husband should have been dead, and he, like, faked his own death, but we clearly see him, like, at the start of the ad. I don't know. There's also some other ad where they're repairing the inside of the house, and then kind of the same thing just happens. She gets picked up by the police, and but you know, that's only after, because now we see the inside of the house, and there's apparently, when they rip out the wall, just like some drywall or something, there is like a whole door. There's a whole mystery room behind there, like, you know, like an escape room, essentially. There's just a room hidden with, like, clues everywhere. There's, like, a baby, like, bed with a little teddy bear in it. That's apparently a clue to this murder or something like that. I still don't know who's murdered, or who is supposed to be murdered. My best guess is the husband, but I really don't know. And I don't know, I find all these things really funny in the, you know, in the context that this is essentially just a Candy Crush ad. Like, there is so much lore, and you know, probably even deeper than this, way deeper, because this is just the ad. This is just like a 30-second ad. I don't know, I find it incredibly funny. So I was compelled to share it. You are welcome. Anyway, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Watching, playing phone games and watching ads. Yeah, it's not the best ever. What else have I been rotting to? A lot of TikTok, honestly. Just, you know, I haven't been doing all that much. I've been, I actually, you know, to sort of escape from this, I've watched some, like, longer form, TikTok content. I know, right? Which is weird. But also so fucking cool, because, again, I'm still in, you know, it's beginning to fade out, but I'm still in my, like, Monster Hunter Wilds, like, phase. And I found this guy who does some of the, what are they called, like, I don't fucking know, what are they called? Do they have a name? He does these, like, videos of, like, analyzing the monsters and, like, breaking them down like part by part, and like where do they come from this, like, you know, from the real life world. Like, what do their traits say about them? Which is really interesting, especially when you see, yeah, like, I haven't really, you know, I knew it was a thing, but I didn't realize just how much the developers actually cared about. Holy shit, you have done nothing but scream this entire time. Jesus. Christ, what is wrong with these guys? They are being so loud. Wow. Okay, that was horrendous. And it's just so fascinating to see, because the devs have clearly thought about this. The best case I got for this is with Rathalos or Rathian. I don't remember if it's only Rathian or if it's both. But you know, their attacks are like poisonous, right? With their tail attacks are actually poisonous. And you're supposed to think, like, when you cut off the tail, because that's the thing you can do in Monster Hunter, you can just like cut off their tail, that their tail attack is no longer poisonous, but it is. And that's always been kind of goofy to me, but it makes sense when he breaks it down like this. Because essentially, like, sure, the tail is there, but it doesn't really matter. It's just like the way the poison is delivered is a bit different. Because with the tail, Rathalos kind of has that, like, stinger tail. Rathian has, like, you know, smaller, but way more stingers. I don't really know. I still don't know if Rathalos also poisons. Who knows? But essentially, he breaks down, like, you know, in like classical, like, notebook drawings. He also, the guy works at a dinosaur museum or something, so he is credible. But he breaks down, like, he draws the inside of, like, the muscle of the tail and stuff, and also just, like, in full detail the monster, which is so fascinating. And again, when we go back to Rathian here, Rathian's tail, when it's opened up, there is a little sliver of, like, something, some tube looking thing that is supposed to be very, you know, very accurately supposed to be where the poison comes out of. And, you know, because it, you know, when you cut off the tail, that's the way he draws is a cut off tail. Instead of being, you know, pushed out in, like, through these like, you know, what they're made to do. This is just kind of squirting poison out of the tail instead. So it has like a wider range, but it's not as potent or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said. He's made a lot of these videos, and I have been watching them at very varying tirednesses. Another one that I remember quite clear, I don't know, I just have like a couple takeaways from like each video, and I just want to, you know, go through some highlights of them. God, I hate Gorb. Just to go through a few highlights of them. We have Balahara, who is a, just canonically is a filter feeder. Like, goes through the sand, like, something to do with the jaw being split 3 ways, and, you know, always, like, never really picking a fight with bigger creatures, is, like, very, also just, like, diving up and down in the sand like a fucking dolphin, right? That's apparently all signs of, like, filter feeders. Then there's something with the I was so close to calling them nails. What are they called? Like, not talons, but like, I guess nail. No, nails sound so wrong. You know, they have little funny toes, right? And it's something like a bunch of technical stuff with like, oh, this guy has 5 toes, but only claws on like 3 of them. And you know, the fact that they are on the 3, you know, outer toes, that means this specific thing. Like, he has so much detail and so much, like, you know, I obviously can't really fact check him, but it's just funny to see all these, you know, all these things. It's just fascinating to see. What else have I got? Congalala, of course. Fitting that we just defeated Dung Defender. Congalala is the ape, the monkey man that just kind of shits everywhere. He attacks with farts, which is essentially like a part of its pack tactic. That is supposed to, you know, first of all, just show dominance, and also like make all, you know, make you smellable from far away, right? Both as like an intimidation factor, but also for other Congolalas to like recognize you as a Congalala. That's the reason that they fart all the time, which is, you know, still very goofy, but it's just cool to make see these things make sense. There was also something about the hair, like, you know, it's pretty clear to see that the Congalala, you know, the big, because they are just a pack of Congalalas, right? And then the big one is, of course, the monster that you hunt. But the big one is not really that different. The big one is not really that different from all the small ones. But one of the big differences is the hairstyle, which is, you know, not a very big difference in the animal kingdom. It's just the hairstyle. I think it's like the alpha of the group has like essentially what's just a mohawk. I think I've never really seen that before. I guess I just haven't really paid attention to it. But that's apparently a thing. And then the most recent one I just watched is about what's his name? Rumpopolo? Yeah, Rumpopolo sounds right. Yes. Rumpopolo is, you know, very fascinating in the terms that you know, he fills himself up with air, and I gotta be honest, it's a bit late, so I've already forgotten most of what he was yapping about. But the TLDR that I can give you right now is that Rumpopolo is, you know, just a funny little guy that walks around drinking oil, is what I thought, but no. Rumpopolo uses the attack he uses on the player of like blowing air into the oil to kind of just like blow you up. He uses the exact same attack on like just tiny ass creatures that live underneath the oil. And there's something to do with his tongue too that's kind of just not pinning down, but, you know, kind of harpooning the small oil dwellers as they come up and lie there on the surface. And also something fascinating also about Rumpopolo is he just has like feet specifically made for walking in very wet areas, which is of course in the oil basin. Something with the, you know, kind of like flat, you know, the duck feet he essentially has, is very much fitted for being where he is. So, you know, all of these things are just you know, again, I cannot fact check any of them, and they're all just kind of guesstimations from the fan base here. I think we have some confirmation of stuff from the older games. But of course, something like Rumpopolo, we don't have fucking anything to go off of. I think we have a bunch to go off of in terms of Rathian and Rathalos. But I am not up to date with... Wow, I am playing horribly today. Wow. I am not up to date whatsoever with... Holy shit. I'm not up to date whatsoever with Monster Hunter lore. Monster Hunter monster lore. I'm just not. So, shuckies for that, I guess. I don't know. I would like to be, but I'm just not. It is what it is. But yeah, that's what I've been rotting to. Speaking of Monster Hunter, I've just been kind of grinding out a bunch of the crowns. Just to, again, I feel like I'm not being that productive with my time here, but I'm chilling. Just going back and forth, checking for crowns, golden crowns on my monsters. I think I've completed both small crown and big crown on like a couple so far. First one is Doshoguma. I already got that like way early on. I just finished one with the Rumpopolo too. Yeah, I only needed a big star or a big crown for that guy. I also just stole a bunch of crowns from Bro. You know, he'd saved those as investigation, so I just kind of took them. So yeah, that's pretty great. But a lot of this gameplay is also just, you know, fucking running back and forth. So I've just been sitting here, like, listening to some YouTube on the sidelines. Just, you know, again, certified rotting. Been listening to a bunch of like old podcasts from like yeah, shout out to Otaku's Anonymous. I don't know, just two funny guys duking it out, real verbal style. I don't know what I'm talking about. God, I'm getting too tired for this. I should stop doing this like post midnight. What do you think? Should I stop doing that? This is also the second run. I don't know why I started a new run. Oh well, we're out of blobbles. I think I have like a good enough excuse if I die here. Yeah, also, oh god, I didn't even talk about that. I finished season 1 of Nocturne, Castlevania Nocturne. It's just kind of nice to give a TLDR. Okay, I guess we're talking about that tomorrow then. But the TLDR of it, I mean, it's pretty good. It just feels kind of convenient, the ending of the season 1. But you know, hey, we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm heading to bed because I gotta work tomorrow. Yippee! Anyway, bye. Good night.